Do whatever it takes to be the best version of you.
Hey guys, Joe here from The Enemy Within, TEW TV. Hope you're all doing well. Now, this week, brought about some little bit deeper topics through conversations, but also some personal stuff. But you know, we're looking at dealing or encountering with narcissists and encountering with projecting. Now, when we look at what the two are, two obviously very different traits, but two traits that probably walk side by side with each other. Now, when you look a little bit deeper into it, people who struggle with narcissism and people who struggle with projecting, it's a trauma response, and it's a protection mechanism for either adverse things that they've experienced in their life, but most definitely adverse feelings that they've gone through a lot of the time as young people as well, right? So when we're having a look at what a narcissist is, I got a really good important question sent through to me off a post earlier, and it was like, can narcissists change? And when you look at narcissists, or can they change, I believe that they can. I believe that people who have traits of narcissism can change with a huge amount of self-awareness. How do I know that? Because I believe that I carried a stack load of those behaviors. How do I know that? Is because my first response when somebody has a go at me is to project as if it's their fault. And it could be, some simple things like, dealing with different things around the house. Well, Joe, you didn't do this. Well, I didn't do this because you didn't tell me to do this. Like where there's another conversation that comes to that is accountability, right? So one of the comments also I got was around accountability of narcissists, and we most definitely should be calling people, holding people accountable for narcissistic behaviors, but also know that me personally, only because I know the depth of where it comes from, is that I know a great deal of pain happened first to condition those emotions that trigger narcissism and projection. So when we look at what it is, or the different things that a narcissist has, different traits, it's the first response, right? The first response that we get in our minds, and it's that first response that we want to we don't want to have accountability for what we do, so we project back. And again, like I was someone, before knowing what it was, before knowing and being educated around what projection is, I was someone who was projecting a hell of a lot because of, again, the narcissistic traits that I carry. So is it possible for a narcissist to change? I believe it is, but only with a great deal of self-awareness to the actual behaviors that they have. And again, bit of a contradiction, because narcissists generally believe that they aren't narcissists, yet all of their traits or behaviors will probably show that they are. But everything in their first response in their mind probably tells them that it's everyone else's fault rather than their own, right? So it's like it's a really, really difficult cycle to break, but I do believe that it's most definitely can break it. One of the other things as well is that we need to be super aware of the behaviors that we have, the words that we have, the conversations that we have around young people, right? Because whilst we are a cycle a lot of the times of the behaviors that we've inherited, or the behaviors that we've had conditioned into us as young people, it is through our words, actions, and behaviors that we condition our young people in our own life. It's through our own words and actions and behaviors that we are conditioning those young people and all of those people around us to believe certain traits or certain ways throughout their life. So a really, really difficult one, a super in-depth one, and I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all type thing. Can narcissists change? I believe so, with a hell of a lot of self-awareness and understanding what narcissism is, and then understanding the behaviors that you are projecting when you are caught in those cycles of narcissism. But again, it's something that you need to be super self-aware of, and looking at what the first response is in our head and what triggers that first response. So and what triggers that first response most definitely is valid and is real to the individual. But again, looking at the behaviors we project after that first response is a critical one. So again, have a look at how you are, who you are, some of the behaviors that you keep. If you have narcissistic behaviors, if you are projecting your opinions, thoughts, pains onto other people unnecessarily, and think and have a look at where that's coming from. Again, I'm a huge believer, don't look at what, look at why. That's when we start to understand. When we start to understand the why, we can start to go a little bit deeper and heal some of those behaviors that are conditioned, that we've inherited from a young age. Take it easy. We'll see you again next week.